WNBA. Let's go. Fast break, no fear, we play to win. Strength and power, let the game begin.
Welcome, everyone. We're here for discussions of the WNBA from the East Coast to the West Coast, and here with Grandma Mo and
Lisa D from CT.
Okay, so Lisa, what was your game of the week?
My game of the week was Atlanta versus New York. I really like the way Atlanta's playing this year. They came out to play, and they had New York on the ropes almost all game. Pow had a great game with 16 points. And then New York fought back, which they often do in the fourth quarter. They're able to do that. They're able to steal the game back, and kudos to them because they, even though the score was 81-86, Atlanta had control of that game through the third quarter, really. It's only in the fourth quarter that New York went on a run and forget it. It was over. I was like, damn it. I would have loved to see them pull that game out, but they didn't. So that was my game. How about you?
Yeah, me too. I almost picked Minnesota and Vegas. Yeah. And then I was rewatching that, and Vegas just kind of they faltered towards the end. Vegas had a big lead against Minnesota, and Minnesota just whittled away at it. But yeah, thinking back, because this game was earlier in the week, so it was like I had like a recency bias with the Minnesota game. But I had to go through each game, and like this one was really good though, and it was. I enjoyed it. I mean, it was a 1-point game with I think a minute and a half left, and then New York just got a bucket, and then they got a free throw, and that gave them their margin.
They're so good. New York is so good at finishing the game. It doesn't matter if they're behind. It's like they're still coming at you. I like it.
And then Jonquil Jones was back, so
yeah, which helped. Yeah. Well, she got done with her popcorn. She came back to play. So that was good. I enjoyed it. That's 6 games on Tuesday. That was rough.
Yeah, I don't think I've still watched every game.
It was rough. I mean, you look at the totals, I mean the scores, and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. I had the app on and I'm like bouncing back and forth. And my mother's like, who's winning over there? I'm like, oh, geez. I think it's starting to get tough on the players. These, Connecticut went from Indiana back to home. And now Mercury, who played last night in Connecticut, has to play tonight. I mean, that's rough on a body. Glad it's not me.
Yeah. Well, you gotta rotate your players when that's coming up. So yeah. So who was your player of the week?
Player of the week, I went with Paige Beckers, who was back in action. Of course, they lost against the Aces 88-84, but she got her toes back wet. She had 16 points, 5 assists in that game. And then against your Valkyries, I was really interested in that. She did very well. She had 20 points. Yep. They were able to pull off a win, which I actually I didn't expect that. I really did. It was 80-71, and it was great to see Gino, who was actually there at the game.
He was at the game,
to cheer everybody on. That was nice. I like that. I like when they show up. But really, really cool for Paige Beckers this week. On a positive note, I don't know if you saw that. Back in the day, we had Shirley Temples. Who knew that they stretched back on to nowadays, non-alcoholic kid drink. And Gatorade did a special edition Shirley Temple drink. Did you see that? I was like, oh, my God.
No, I missed that.
Oh, my God. It's bringing in these players and making a lot of money. I was like, not that I would drink it, but, I thought that was pretty cool. Well, what'd you think about them against your Valkyries? What happened? You think it's your people you lost that's the reason why they lost to Dallas, or?
They've lost 4 of their main players to Eurobasket. Yeah, so there was, they definitely were not in sync. But, they pulled it in. They were right there, and they were in the lead early in the fourth quarter. And then they just couldn't, you know, after the game, Kayla Thornton was like, yeah, we just didn't have the effort this game. And
Yeah.
they did. You could see it. The normal, you know, relentlessness that they have just wasn't there. It
Well, they
was,
had a tough schedule. Yeah, had a tough schedule and pretty, big wins on their schedule. I mean,
yeah,
I think just that in itself is draining because they've
yeah.
been doing
But
so well.
I also think they missed Temmie. You know, Temmie Fagbenley kind of holds, anchors that team. And you
Mm.
don't necessarily, I mean, she's not someone that's going to score the most points. She's not going to get, you know, but you notice the difference when she wasn't in there. Like I
Yeah.
noticed the difference. And like I keep hoping she'll lose quick and Eurobasket and get back. Because
Yeah.
her more than anyone else. Because you could see the difference in the defense when she's there,
Yeah.
and she knocks away a lot of passes. She doesn't necessarily block shots, but she alters shots. She gets, and she's just very active. And you know, you could see that that was missing. I mean, Mo Billings did okay. I mean, she still, I think she had a double double, and
Mhm.
but she wasn't as, I don't know what the right word is. The just, I think it was just a difference in new players being in there because Amihir was in there and she just, I mean, she hasn't played since the preseason and she did fine, but it was just the cohesiveness and then it's, can you cut that out?
Oh God,
Bella,
that's the truth. And
d-
there's the truth.
yeah, Bella, just lay down, baby. Okay,
I
she's
love
okay.
animals. Animals
Hi,
are great.
Bella.
Let her
Someone goes
talk.
by and she'll just bark.
Okay. It's her.
Anyway, yeah, so my player of the week was Ionescu, as I have here on the screen.
Yeah, she's
I mean,
fantastic.
even in the loss to Indiana, I mean, there was all the hype about Clark scoring 32. You know, and Ionescu scored 34.
Yeah.
And in the game against Atlanta, she scored 35. So she has been holding New York, you know, she's been the scorer for them.
She's
And
just
I think,
so she's so clutch. What
yeah,
I really, I didn't think I don't know too much about her until I saw her on Sue Bird's podcast. And
oh
I'm
yeah,
like, how much similar lifestyles of growing up, being around all guys, playing on guys'
yeah,
teams, that kind of thing. I appreciate her a lot more. I think it's the stories of people that connect people, I think.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I like her. She's glad
I do
she's
too. I had
left.
no idea she was from Walnut Creek.
Yeah,
You know,
see,
that's like right across the bay.
I
It's,
know.
I mean, I
Maybe
lived in
we'll
Marin for
snag her
24
for you.
years and like north of the Golden Gate Bridge, and she's just east of the of San
Yeah,
Francisco. And I had no idea she was there all that time.
see, and maybe she'll decide to jump ship next year. You
Yeah,
know, who knows?
we could wish.
Listen. I like the Valkyries' chances. I like the fact that they're a brand new franchise with all
Yeah,
these. Well, not everybody's brand new rookie, but they have nothing to lose, so to speak. You know what I mean?
right.
They can
Yeah,
play as hard as they want. They don't have to worry about a lot of the crap, and that's what they've been doing.
yeah,
And when you got a great fan base behind you, like in New York,
yeah,
with
they
the,
do. Mhm.
you know, can't go
Yeah, the
wrong.
Valkyries are, I looked ahead at the schedule and they have some tough, I mean, I was hoping to win the Dallas game and then maybe the Connecticut game, but Connecticut's playing better and
Yeah,
we don't have all our players. And I'm hoping that they can get that cohesiveness. I looked at all the games. I mean, we could lose a lot of games between now and everybody comes back from Eurobasket. I was looking at it and I'm like, oh, we got
yeah, but
New York's
you don't
coming
know.
back. New York is coming to the Valkyries. You got Connecticut. You got Indiana today. You got what was the other? There were, I think, Seattle again. You know, and I don't know if Seattle's gonna. You know, that was a tough game, but we had Temmie there, and I don't know if
Yeah,
she'll be back by then.
yeah,
But I think as of July, once after July, then it'll be a more like that's going to determine their season, how they play in July, because all those players are coming back. And from what I'm hearing, Elena Rupert, who plays,
mhm,
she's like the center for France. Um, she's going to be coming in. So that's another addition to the Valkyries. I don't know who they're going to cut, or,
Right.
wave. But they have, after June 29th, when Eurobasket ends, all these players are coming back and the Valkyries are going to be really tough. But there might be some adjustment because they've been gone for 2 weeks or
Right.
whatever it is.
Well, sure. Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, the thing is though, although they're overseas and doing their thing and it shakes everybody up, on the other end of the spectrum, a lot of injuries, a lot
Yeah.
of main people on main teams are out, which
Yeah.
kind of shakes things up. So I think everybody's kind of in the same, except
That's
for
true.
maybe like the Mercury who finally got Copper
Yeah, they
back.
started out hurt and now
Thomas.
they're better. Yeah.
And last night at the Connecticut Sun game, I was happy to see. Now I watched her play. I had season tickets for years, AT, and they did like a little video tribute, and she
Oh,
actually
yeah.
teared up. She's there for
Yeah.
11 years,
Yeah.
and the players were, everybody joined together. It was kind of nice moment to see for the WNBA. Everybody, everybody's cheering for everybody. It's not easy to be in the league. It's
No,
very easy to, very easy to
very
get
intense.
to the
Yep.
curb, but to keep your position, it's not easy. But I was
Yep.
glad to see Chen's back for you guys, but she hasn't played yet.
Yeah, I didn't think she would. I mean, she might have got in a little bit in the Dallas game, but she might get in tonight, just
I hope so.
having some more reps in practice and stuff. But we'll see.
Yeah.
This is going to be an interesting game tonight because I don't know how they're going to react. I'm nervous about it. But they could come out blazing, and if they hit threes, and I don't know how who's gonna guard Clark. It might be Thornton, it might be Tiffany Hayes. I mean, Burton can guard her, but Burton's too short.
Right.
And she's only 5'8", and Clark's gonna just shoot over her. You have to put someone taller on her. That's either her height or taller. So Hayes is right in that range. Kayla Thornton's a little taller than her. I don't know. I was reading an article that Amihir guarded her in college, which that surprised me. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, that's the whole thing is that these girls, they all know each other. Even if you're a rookie, you've played against somebody that's
along the way.
You know what I mean? So that's the cool thing. What was I'm curious to see what your
surprise?
Either the surprise of the week or the play of the week. Do surprise.
The play of the week. Let's do the play of the week. I have I took a clip here. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get this. My clip was.
There were a lot of plays of the week for me.
Yeah,
anyway.
this one kind of caught my eye. Let me see if I can get it up here. All right, let's go over here. All right, here we go. Damn it. Okay. Let's see. All right, this is going to run a little bit. But Heideman's
getting a backcourt violation in 8 seconds.
Heideman had this little, they called it on the thing of a dipsy do. It's coming up here.
Trying to talk things out with Becky Hammond, some confusion, frustration. Another turnover, that's 7 in this first quarter. Yeah, that is a lot of.
Here it comes. Heideman had this great drive.
Defense. They are all.
It was just terrific. Watch this right here. She goes whoop, and then right by. And then she came back right in the beginning of the second quarter. Let me shut this off. And then she came back in the second quarter and did a very similar move, like right at the beginning of the second quarter.
Yeah.
And so that was my play of the week. I was
That's
like, oh,
awesome. Yeah.
when I go, boom. Then I
call them the littles. You like when the littles blow past and get a reverse. I actually see them a lot this year. A lot of reverse layups, opposite hands. It's great. I enjoy that too. But you know me, I for the play of the week, I love myself a block, and the person that blocks the most, and that's what she's looking for. As the record of the W. That when Shakira Austin blocked Brittany Griner.
Yeah.
And then it was right out that, like, Brittany Griner's like, what? Really? And she like pushed her in a friendly manner, and she could, they had a, that's pretty funny. I mean, how the hell? Boy, she could sky. These kids can get, that's a big body.
Yeah. That was mine until I saw this one.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta love it. I love the littles. They're fast. They are so fast. I'm like even
especially high.
And Rivers on the Connecticut Sun. I was watching her last night, and I'm like, oh my God, how fast! Young legs. She gets down the court. It's amazing.
Yeah, Sykes is really fast too.
Yeah.
Sykes on the Mystics. Yeah.
Yeah. Slim. They call her Slim.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the other thing, what we got to touch base? I think we got everything, right?
Except for the surprise of the week.
Surprise of the week, which I texted you about, and I said, she's back. I was surprised that Chen was back with the Valks, which we just talked about.
Yeah.
Time being with Eurobasket, whether she gets, I just hope that she gets, somebody's going to pick her up, even if they drop her again. But I was just glad. I'm like,
unless someone gets hurt, unless Burton gets hurt or Carla Lake gets hurt, or Van Luke somehow gets hurt in Eurobasket or something like that. There's just not enough room for her at this point in time.
No, I know, which is, it's unfortunate because there's a lot of really good players out there, but they're hopefully they extend the rosters. And I know you and I were talking about the same thing, to extend the season a little bit, because I think it's kind of crazy.
Add 4 games, add a week to the season.
Yeah. Just to give their bodies a rest. I know they're young, but
spread stuff out a little more.
Yeah. Right. I think, there's a lot of things that need to be looked at, but Phoenix, New York tonight, which hopefully, will be close. That
should be a good game.
Yeah. Because Phoenix has been playing good. They played really good last night. I love AT anyway. She's, she does the spin move, and nobody can catch her. You know what I mean? I mean, she just drives the lane like nobody else. She's a big girl. She's powerful. Who's your pick for tonight?
I don't know. Well, I mean, New York, and I'm all worried about the Valkyries, but I'm nervous about it because they could get, you never know. It's like if they're hitting their shots, they could be right in this game. I mean, it might be a neck and neck game, depending, because if Caitlin's going to do her thing, if they pressure her and keep her under 20 points, and then the rest of the players don't contribute, like lately, the rest of the players have been contributing. Like Lexi Hull's been getting points, Boston's been getting points, and Howard's been getting points. Who else? Oh geez, just they're like they've been getting more contributions from everybody else. In the game that they got beat really bad was like, oh wow, like nobody's doing anything, and it was like everybody's falling asleep. But I mean, the New York Phoenix game should be a very good game.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, again, these back-to-backs. Now Phoenix got the back-to-back. Let's,
they could be tired, and New York might blow them out.
Yeah, who knows? Got to watch Ionescu. She'll be ready to chuck up a few.
Yeah, she always seems to be. She rarely has a game. Rarely.
And what do we have next week? I didn't even look. I'm afraid to look.
29
games. Hooray! Yeah, we can't even catch up. It's like, what the hell? Like, we don't have lives. We don't get paid for this shit.
I know.
Anyway, but hopefully, if you want, we'll be back here next week.
Yeah, sure.
What happened?
I enjoy, talking hoops.
Chit chat back and forth.
Exactly.
It's a good week. It's a positive.
Nice to catch up.
And I hope you have a good week. And we'll be back next week, same time, same bat channel.
You bet.